In this edition of INN CEO Talks, I'm joined by JP Vargas de la Vega, the Managing Director of Galan Lithium. JP, welcome.
Thank you, Stuart. I'm pleased to be here.
You know, I want to start with this question because in looking at your company, I can't help but ask, what makes Galan Resources so spectacular?
Well, it's a company 5 years in the making. We are located, if you see the picture behind me, at the Hombre Muerto salt flat, which is the house of the Living Corporation. We're also neighboring on the east POSCO and Galaxy Resources that merged with Orocobre and now it's called Allchem. So we are in the best salt flat in Argentina, and we also have the project with the highest grade in disclosed estimate, with a familiarity of low grade impurities that makes this a very good platform for low operating costs when you come online.
What is your known and inferred resource? Because that's a pretty spectacular picture behind you.
Yeah. Well, what we have in our tenement, which sits at the edge of the salt flat, we pretty much have a sponge of sand. If you go to the beach, you dig the sand, and there's a lot of seawater under it. We got brine water here with a high level of lithium, and to our surprise, we have disclosed last November 5.8 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent at a grade of 866 milligrams per liter. Importantly, 4.4 million tons of that was categorized under a measured category, the highest category you can have into the before going into a definitive feasibility study that will have reserves. And the grade of that is also great. It's 866 milligram per liter. And we continue to drill, and we have shown that this project keeps on giving. We'll have another disclosure once we have our DFS coming up. So it's all good news. Makes this part of the elephant country that I have always mentioned, and that we want to be part of it. We're not a baby elephant anymore, and so we are going to be showing to the market how big we can go and how quick we can go into production too.
So what is your plan moving forward? Do you envision that you will build this out? Or are you looking to vend in with one of the other major players?
Well, we want to have our project in our hands as much as we can, and we have a way of going forward on a stage development. We have already applied for a 4,000 tons pilot in development, which is almost like a stage one development that we applied the permits last year. We expect to have them granted this first half of the year, and the second half of this calendar year, 23, we expect to start development. The production from these 4,000 tons, we are believing that we can get online on the first quarter of 2025. So in 2 years' time, I would like to be having an interview telling that we're becoming a producer. Furthermore, we are under a DFS that we expect to have by the end of this quarter, in which we're going to demonstrate a large project that is 20,000 tons plus. So part of the 4,000 will be part of this development, and we want to get that on the permits apply this next month, and we expect to have them granted within 12 months. So our strategy is 4,000. Start construction pretty much as soon as we can this second half of this year, kicking the 4,000 tons in Q1 25, get granted the larger permit and thereafter, and then in 2025 onwards, all the way to 2026, we should be expecting to be in full ramp-up production on the 20,000 tons plus that we mentioned that is under the DFS study.
What extraction process are you using to get the lithium out of that environment?
We are using conventional technology, which is ponds, evaporation ponds. We have identified that through the process and testing that we've done, we do already have a smaller pilot plant that we can get our lithium concentrate to levels of 6% concentrate that give us the flexibility to sell our concentrate within Argentina to the next 12 projects that we have identified that could be coming online in the next 3 to 5 years. And the evaporation process that we have done, given that we have high-grade, low impurities, is very amicable to have high grade of recoveries and overall a low power intensity process and a low water consumption to produce our lithium chloride concentrate.
What are your access to resources and infrastructure in the area like? As you start to build out, do you have easy access to move the resource out?
Yeah, we are in Elephant Country, as I mentioned, Live and POSCO and all came out there. All roads are maintained by them. We're happy to chip in when the time comes. We have access to rail to the north at Positos, which is 200 km from that can take us to the port of Antofagasta in Chile. So we have access to the Pacific. And by road, if we need to, we can go all the way to Buenos Aires. But our preference for the time being is use what Live is already doing, which is moving the products via Chile.
So this isn't the only project that you've got underway. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, Galan also has a local presence here in Western Australia. We have south of the Greenbushes mine, which is run by the Talison JV, which is Albemarle, Tianqi, and IGO. We are adjacently south from the Greenbushes mine, 3 kilometers south from the pit itself. And we have acquired recently 100% of the tenements from Lithium Australia. And we are now lodged all the permitting, so we can start drilling this quarter. So Greenbushes, it's very interesting, and we are applying neurology once again, because Greenbushes, the mine is a 100-year mine, but I started as a tin, tantalum, and then they discovered that the Greenbushes mine, it is the highest grade hard rock lithium in the world. So if we can find a sniff of something similar, of even if a small fraction of what they have, it'll be very interesting. And so fingers crossed on that. We are trying to do the best we can.
Well, it's very interesting to look at the price of lithium now. It has skyrocketed in the last 18 to 24 months. And your projections are based on what kind of price per ton?
The study, look, we are conservative on this estimate. We will be thinking that our long-term prices will be on the range of the 20 or 25,000 tons lithium carbon equivalent. If you look at what's the highest grade production costing in the world today, then you will be seeing that is sort of the mark where it sits. So we're happy to look at this number as the long-term flooring for the pricing, even though the price is sitting below $80,000 a ton on a spot. So we want to be conservative, even of those prices. The metrics on the economics are fantastic. So we'll come up with something very compelling when we come up online with our DFS at the end of Q1.
You know that over the last number of years, investors have been somewhat standoffish, let's say, in investing in lithium projects. It's because they've been waiting for this surge. What's your message to them now about why this is the time to be looking at Galan Resources?
Well, we not only have the highest grade project in Argentina, we have a fantastic team that we have been able to build with people that have got a significant amount of experience in the lithium industry. I would like to highlight that we have Daniel Jimenez as he was the Senior Vice President of Commercial of SQM, that he has joined us he's been with us for the last 3 years. And the reason, and also he's been able to bring all expertise from the technical side, chemical engineers, hydrogeologists, people from operations, as well, that are coming and will be coming online with Galan, that came from SQM 20 plus years, some of them. And so this is a very strong point of differentiation. There are not many companies that have got a team that have got experience to execute lithium developments. And we believe that we have the project, we have the team, and we are gearing up for that as soon as we get the permits.
Well, it's an exciting time for Galan Lithium, and I hope that you'll come back and give us those updates that you envision. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Stu.